that's true.
Then it's a problem.
Yeah, so, but like, I guess we're all saying the same thing.
It's good all day, found. All right, so we'll be back again tonight. Another segment. We'll get in this. Let's see what we got, man. Let's see what we got on the menu tonight. All right. I'm going to share this segment right here, man. Talk about Mike McDaniels. Mike McDaniels got the best job at the NFL hiring cycle as a Chargers offensive coordinator. Let's see. What is it back on?
Cycle was Chargers OC. Rehab for a year as a fired head coach, and then come back next year after working with the quarterback that your old job could have taken over Tua, but did not. And now you get a chance to work with him with a playoff-capable defense. You get to live in Manhattan Beach. Chargers are in El Segundo, 2 minutes away. Stephen Ross gets to pay for you living in Manhattan Beach. And you get to coach Justin Herbert. It's not a knock on the Browns or the Chargers or the Raiders or the Cardinals or the Giants. To me, that's the best job. And then go pick whichever job you want next year. The best job in this cycle was Chargers OC. Rehab for a year as a fired head coach, and then come back next year after.
I disagree with him. I think, especially also given the fact that, he put all the aesthetics and everything, the nuances into it, the location, and El Segundo is actually, for those of you who've never been to LA, in my opinion, El Segundo is probably the finest place in all of Los Angeles. It's my favorite area of LA. I would love to live in El Segundo. I think El Segundo is a very beautiful area. The Chargers facility, they call it the boat. It's right there. Nice, beautiful, huge facility. I've never been inside the boat, but I've been there. I've been like in the parking lot and stuff. But it's and also given the fact that the main point is that he's coaching Justin Herbert. That's the biggest point right there. And then he has a huge, not a huge, but he has some weapons some guys that have a lot of potential that he can unleash. If we don't get rid of Quentin Johnston is going to ball out this year even more if we don't get rid of him. I feel like if we do get rid of Quentin Johnston, we're quickly going to replace him with a big time wide receiver, prolific wide receiver. Because the thing about Quentin Johnston, he's not a big time wide receiver as of yet. But the interesting thing about QJ is that he's getting better every year. And that's something that you want to see in any player. And that's what I like about QJ. And that's why I'm actually a fan of QJ. And that's why I have not written him off. He was below average his rookie year. He was, I guess you could say, average his second year. And he got much better his third year, which was last year. This is his fourth year entering into the league. He's still young. And every year he's getting better. And so this year, if he can probably crack into the top 15 wide receiver rank in the NFL, it's big for the Chargers. Maybe top 10, maybe. I don't know. But maybe top 10 if under Mike McDaniel's offense. I don't really know what's a type of wide receiver with his type of skill set, how he will play in Mike Daniel's offensive scheme. But with that being said, Mike McDaniels is a great coach, and he is a type of coach that I feel like he can expand anything. He can translate. He can adapt. I feel like he's the type of coach that adapts to his players' strengths, and he's the type of coach that can get players in the best situation that suits their skill set, their strongest skill set. He even said that in the press conference. He even said that. I mean, he went out of his way of explaining that. He's pretty much saying that, hey, I can coach any offensive player because I'm going to be able to know his strength, his skill set, and I'm going to have my scheme integrate into his skill set. So those are the great coaches that you want to play for, that you want to hire. I think Jim Harbaugh gave us not the blueprint, but he kind of pretty much said in himself that there's so many different ways to skin a cat. I want to find the head coach of the offense. So he kind of already knew what he kind of was pretty much telling us in so many words. Like he feels like Mike McDaniel is that type of coach. So that's what makes Mike McDaniel such a great offensive coach, and really just a great coach in general, is that he's adaptable and he understands players. He understands guys' skill sets, and he understands that it's not just what he wants to do. It's just not all be all for him. It's a collaborative system for him and the player. And I like that. He's more like, I'm here to assist these guys to their best capability. And I like that a lot about Mike McDaniel. He seems like a very wonderful guy and a very wonderful coach to play for. So I'm so ecstatic and I'm so excited because any Chargers offensive player is going to be unleashed. I'm talking about Marion, Kamani, Najee if he comes back, Justin Herbert, obviously, Oronde Gatson. And then you're talking about Trey Harris, KLS, Lad, QJ, Keenan if he stays, maybe. It's going to be it's going to be fun. It's going to be fun. If we can get probably Tyreek Hill as well. I mean, there's been talks about Tyreek Hill coming. So, I mean, I believe he's got the best job. He's got the best job, man, in the world. I mean, for offensive coordinating. And I said this way before we signed him. I was like, this will be the best. If Mike McDaniel is smart, like I think he is, this will be the best job for him to come to. So, and he signed with the Chargers because he knew. So yeah, man. But let's see what else we got on this menu. So breaking: Ryan Kennedy, the Lions fan involved in a December altercation with DK Metcalf, has filed a $100 million defamation lawsuit against Metcalf, the Steelers, and others after being billed as a racist after podcasts relayed that he allegedly said the N-word to Metcalf. Kennedy also sued former NFL wide receiver Chad Ochocinco Johnson, Shay Media LLC, Time Sports LLC, which does business as The Volume, and Ford Field Management LLC. Ryan Kennedy, a longtime Lions season ticket holder and mortgage company CEO, filed the lawsuit in Wayne County Circuit Court after he was publicly labeled a racist following the assault. Metcalf claimed Kennedy called him the N-word, according to the suit. Shortly after the incident, Kennedy held a press conference with two attorneys asking Metcalf to retract and apologize for his comments or face a lawsuit. He said, I didn't use any racial slurs, no hate speech. I mean, none of that stuff at the game. Actually, never. 15 years, season ticket holder for the Lions. I've never done that at all. So to DeKaylin, if you're watching, I think this says DK Metcalf. So, I guess that's his real name, DeKaylin. If you're watching this, man, just if you could just say that, please. Kennedy claimed he only called Metcalf by his government first name, DeKaylin, which triggered Metcalf's response. Metcalf was suspended for the final 2 games of the regular season for his actions toward Kennedy. You know, the crazy thing about it is that there's no way to prove that he actually said it. Metcalf put his hands on the plan first. And, you know, this is something that I didn't like that Metcalf did that. You know, you got some guys just talking about like what Shady was saying, and see, this is my perspective on this. I never played in the NFL, but it doesn't matter. I don't have to play in the NFL to have common sense. When you're doing business and when you're doing your job, people are going to say stuff, man. Like, one thing I never really understood, I used to care about what people would say when I was in high school, when I was in middle school, even when I was in college, when I was in my 20s. I think DK is still in his 20s, so. But I stopped really caring about what people were saying when I got into my 30s, man. Especially when I started studying martial arts, starting to become a trained fighter, because it's just words. And when I got into study economics and microeconomics, and one of the principles, economics is study of scarcity, but one of the principles that I learned in economics from economists that I studied, like Walter Williams and Thomas Sowell, I've learned about private property. And what I think about private property is that unless someone, that is how you be able to dictate your, I'm trying to find the correct term for this. All right, I'm going to say this in the most simplest way, because it's some terms that I kind of forget to use about this. But the point I'm trying to make is that unless someone is invading your private property, that's all that matters. There's no point of trying to fight, defend yourself, put your hands on anybody, kill somebody, or any of that. And what is your private property? Your private property, first and foremost, your greatest asset, which is your greatest asset, which is part of your private property, which is your body, you. Unless someone has invaded your space, literally, when I mean invade your space, I mean getting within reaching distance, arm distance, not so much as somebody hitting you first. Hell no. Like, you learn in martial arts, and this is why I like studying so many different things, because you start to find the connections, the connected dots, and the patterns in so many different fields and disciplines, and just stuff in life. When you start having a different perspective on life and going about it and for everyday life and everything. But someone's talking noise, talking crap or whatever, one of the best things is just walk away. And if someone's trying to fight you, one of the best things to do is walk away. And some of my masters even go to the extent of talking about run away. And why? Why is that? Not because you're scared, not because you're backing down, but at the end of the day, it's pointless. It's unnecessary, because when you engage, what are you actually engaging for? And this is one of the things that I like to tell myself is that I'm not dangerous enough as a human being, and I don't have enough confidence in myself as a human being. And maybe I have some insecurities. If someone has to say something to me to trigger me to want to approach them, or if somebody wants to fight me and I want to fight them. Now, if it's just me by myself, what do I have to prove? If I know what I'm capable of, if I know I can kill you in a heartbeat, if I know this within myself, what me doing that to you is going to do that any better to me? How is that going to serve me? So that's the thing you look at, like, how is this serving me? If I were to knock you out by one punch, how is that serving me? I already know I can do it. So why do I need to do it? I only need to do it if I absolutely have to do it. So my thing is that I only really find myself really able to really get into a fight, not running away, not walking away, if I have somebody that I ideally love who's next to me and somebody is trying to harm them or coming at them or even saying something to them. Now that's a whole different story, because I'm a protector. I'm going to be like, if that's my girlfriend, my wife, my sister, my brother, there have been many times where I got into altercations and more fights by protecting my loved ones than opposed to myself. I think that's where it really boils down to. Now, I say all that to say, to go back to DK Metcalf situation, is that whatever the fan said, I don't care if the fan said the N-word. I don't care. Like, I don't care if it was any racial slurs or whatever, bro. Like, you got to look at the bigger picture in life. And you get to go home and do your thing, do whatever you do. DK Metcalf is living a lifestyle that so many people can imagine and dream of. And it's unfortunate that somebody's not in DK Metcalf's ears telling him this stuff, because DK Metcalf is always an individual who's always finding himself in situations like this. And it's almost like it almost comes out to the point that he has to prove something to himself, I guess. I feel like anybody who has that type of, I mean, who has those type of actions, they come off as that they have to prove something to themselves. It's like some type of insecurity within yourself, really like deep down inside, something that you haven't faced. And because, I mean, maybe this isn't a big deal to DK. Maybe I don't think maybe he doesn't care. I don't know. But in my perspective, I think it is a big deal because I think it's something that can really turn into something really big. Obviously, the fan is not backing down, and the fan is going out of his way to file a lawsuit against media companies that said he was racist, filing the defamation lawsuit against DK Metcalf. Now, some people think that the fan is not going to win all that money. Some people think the fan is not going to win at all. I think he has a case on his hands because I mean, I said a little bit of law, just a little bit. You could definitely sue somebody for defamation, and you can definitely have a case on your hands if you have some proof that it's actually harming you and harming your lifestyle in a way. Yeah, I mean, I'm telling you right now, like that's something that this is something that can become deeper than what it actually is, especially if, like I said, especially if this fan has a case on his hands. So, I mean, I don't know, man. To be honest with you, I kind of believe the fan, to be honest. I don't think the fan used any kind of racial slur. I feel like if the fan was racist, he would not have cared. He would have, I don't think the fan would have went out of his way doing all this, to be honest, if he actually was racist and actually did use racial slurs. And to be honest, I think if the fan did use racial slurs, I think DK Metcalf's response would have been a whole lot more aggressive. That because when DK Metcalf, because really DK Metcalf didn't even really put his hands, he put his hands on him, but he didn't really. I think the media, that's another thing too. The media, in my opinion, they kind of exaggerated more than what DK Metcalf did. Because DK Metcalf put his hands on the fan and he went like that. And it was like a shove almost. Like he did it. They say he threw a punch. Punch is that's pushing. That's reaching. He didn't throw a punch. He grabbed the fan and he went like that. He like shoved him away. It was like if my mom grabbed me and my mom jacked me up and then my mom went like that. That's what I saw. That's what another thing about the media. The media makes things more bigger than what it actually is. I think when DK Metcalf even did that, it was like a casual thing. And so I said everything that I said earlier because I just wish DK Metcalf never engaged with the fan in the beginning. Because DK Metcalf, the fan went fishing and DK bit. That's the way I look at it. The fan went fishing and DK bit. The fan is a nobody. He's a nobody. DK Metcalf is a somebody. And if you're a fan and you're a nobody, you got nothing going for yourself. And oh, DK Metcalf, let me see if I can trigger him. What can I say to trigger him? You know what I'm saying? So obviously the fan knew what he was doing. He played a psychological game. He tested DK and DK felt the test. And I just like the thing about it, you got to also look about. There's a thing too, is why I don't like when people say these things about, oh, nobody's better than anybody. We all are created equal. We all have equal value. No, there are such things as people being better than somebody, and we all are not created equal. And there are people who is better than other people. Those are facts, okay? And those are harsh facts. But no, there's people who are more valuable than you. Like, what are you doing? And what is this other person doing? If this other person is doing more than you are, and they're creating better product than you are, and you're doing absolutely nothing, you're just a consumer. Okay, surprise. Well, hello, a person who's creating more than you, who's creating more value than you, they are a better human being than you. Plain and simple. We are not equal. Okay, so you can get mad at me all you want by me saying that, but those are the facts. And I'm saying that to say this is that DK Metcalf needs to remind himself that yes, I am better than most people. And so if somebody who's not on my same level, who's not on my same wavelength, who I am better than is going to say something to me, I'm better than him. I don't need to say anything back. I don't need to engage. It's one ear out, not the other. Like, one of the best ways to tell a person, one of the most cruel things you can do to an individual is ignore them, is give them silence. That is one of the most coldest things you can do to somebody. And so, you know, like one thing that I know, one thing that I learned about with women is that women loves attention. And one of the best things you can do to a woman, if you really want to show her, if you really want to be cold towards her, is to not give her any attention. So I feel DK Metcalf should go about that with people like this guy, like this fan. I don't need to show me attention at all. He's a nobody. You know what I'm saying? But like I said, the guy went fishing, he bit. So, I mean, that's what I would tell people. That's what I would tell my kids if I had kids, you know, and stuff. I mean, you're better than people. Yes, you are. If you're putting out more of the product than somebody else, you're better than that person. It's plain and simple. And you need to remind yourself that. And do you engage with people who you are better than? Why? If evidently, if you're not better, evidently, if you don't believe that, then you don't believe that you're better than this person. That's why you're engaging with them. You need to act like it. And so a lot of people is not going to admit that, but I feel like that's one of the best ways to keep yourself focused and focus on yourself and to not bite on people's BS and to not get caught up in this nonsense. This might pass. I don't know, whatever. I don't know, but I mean, I hate this for DK. I'm not a fan of DK Metcalf, really. I don't really, I think he's a very overrated wide receiver, but him compared to the fan, he's better than the fan. And I wish he never would have engaged with the fan. So that's that. But I want to see the clip. I saw like a clip on IG, or I think it was IG or Facebook or whatever, with a fan talking about this. So let me see if I can find it real quick. Play the video. As I'm looking for the fan, like the video of the fan talking about DK. Oh, okay. I found that. I'm gonna play the video real quick, and then we can find it. We can talk about the fan. I mean, we can go to the fans' press conference, but let's watch this real quick. Then it'll be. I think it'll be bad. Great to go right into the fans stuff. I mean, the press conference of the fan.
Local 4 News starts now with a news alert.
All right, and you're right. We do want to start with some breaking news involving that incident at Ford Field yesterday between a Lions fan and a Pittsburgh Steelers wide receiver. We're talking about DK Metcalf. The NFL just handed Metcalf a 2-game suspension for this altercation. You're looking at it right here on your TV. This was during the second quarter of yesterday's game.
Yeah, in that video, you can see Metcalf grabbing the fan's blue wig, and it appears he takes a swing at the guy. NFL Network reports Metcalf made a report about the same fan to Seahawks security when he played for Seattle. There were reports that the fan used slurs in that altercation. An attorney for the fan said that was false.
I mean, so the fan, this wasn't the first time the fan did this. So I guess they said, yeah, he was in Seattle when he did something like this too. But I don't know, man. I still, it doesn't matter. They're fans, bro. They're going to do this, bro. I mean, there's so much stuff that being said at that game. It's words. It's words at the end of the day. Who cares? As long as I feel like, as long as they're not like any of these guys' presence, their space, I feel like that's all that matters. Like, you know, talking and running their mouth. DK went to the fan. So that's just the only thing. That's just what gets me. But I don't know. But let me see if I can. Oh yeah, I was going to go to the fan talking about this. Let's see what the fan says. I saw it. I just saw that video. Okay, here we go. All right, it's 5 minutes. All right, so we're gonna watch this. Oh,
For 15 years, season ticket holder for the Lions. I've never at all. So I guess I want to be crystal clear about one thing. I didn't use any racial slurs, no hate speech. I mean, none of that stuff at the game. Actually, never. 15 years, season ticket holder for the Lions. I've never done that at all. So, DeKaylin, if you're watching this, man, just if you could just say that, please. Like, my family's getting threats and stuff, and it's not cool. So whether you said that or not, I'm sure you didn't want that to happen to the family. Even if you did, like, I forgive you, man. Yeah, that's all I got. Go Lions.
All right, at this point, we'll take a few questions. Well said. He did.
Wade,
Sure. Sure. So this assault occurred about 2 minutes and 30 seconds left in the first half. So what Ryan did say is he used his first name. He asked him to sign a Pittsburgh Steelers jersey. But what he did not say is what matters most here. During an entire half of football and for 15 years as a season ticket holder, he did not say any racial slurs. He did not call any names. And most importantly, he complied with the Ford Field guest code of conduct. He did not use any profanity. Again, he did not use any racial slurs, and he followed the rules. And this isn't just me saying it. Ford Field security investigated the incident and allowed Mr. Kennedy to return to the seats after it was determined that no code of conduct violation occurred.
There was a report that I think that there was considered that you were last year. Where is that?
So there was a complaint that was lodged last year. Not sure exactly who it came from. It may have come from Mr. Metcalf or his representatives. But again, that was investigated last year as well by both the Seahawks personnel and the Lions personnel or Ford Field security personnel. And again, no conduct violation was found at all. And in fact, Mr. Kennedy was allowed to remain for the entirety of that game last year as well.
Said that.
Well, certainly he was excited to get the attention of a player. That's not unusual. It's not unusual for a spectator to cheer, jeer, or try to get the attention of a professional athlete. What is unusual is when a professional athlete reacts. What's even more unusual is when a professional athlete reacts, walks to the stands, reaches into the stands, and then grabs a spectator. That's what's unusual here. What's even more unfortunate is then the false accusations later that Mr. Kennedy used racial slurs when he did not.
That if possible, that like the final video was actually some of the Steelers players as well. Any word?
I've not heard those allegations, but once again, Mr. Kennedy has been a season ticket holder for 15 years. He knows what the rules are and he stays within them. He doesn't use profanity. He doesn't use any racially motivated or hate speech, and none of that occurred. Cheering from the stands to professional athletes is to be expected. That is commonplace. That's probably happened since the history of sporting events. But again, what's unusual here is a professional athlete coming into the stands, making contact with a spectator, and then the false accusations that resulted sometime after that.
What was the intent with it? Carrying the photograph of
Well, sure. So certainly he was cheering for the Lions and he was calling Mr. Metcalf by his first name. Certainly he was trying to get Mr. Metcalf's attention, just like multiple spectators do at every NFL game every week. He also, as you can see on what's been widely distributed online through video and audio, he was trying to get an autograph on a Pittsburgh Steelers jersey as well. And Mr. Metcalf then approached the stands and instead of signing an autograph, grabbed Mr. Kennedy and pulled him downward.
Did DK say anything to you specifically?
Mr. Kennedy did not hear anything that DK Metcalf said at all. And if you watch it in real time, there really wasn't time for a conversation once Mr. Metcalf got close enough to the stands to grab Mr. Kennedy.
Well, oh yeah, we'll talk about that later. Chargers defensive coordinator. That's that. I mean, like I said, man, DK, he needs to understand that he's better than people, and he doesn't have to engage with people that he's better than. I feel like when we start reminding ourselves that really tell ourselves, I'm better than this person. I don't need to engage. I don't need to show any attention to this person's energy at all. I feel like we will save ourselves a lot of headache. Like when you start excluding individuals, when you start excluding individuals out of your life because you're literally telling yourself, I'm better than this person. You don't give the energy to that individual. You don't pay any attention to that individual. So yeah, I mean, we'll see what happens. I mean, obviously this is an ongoing story now. I mean, I forgot all about the fan. I forgot all about the situation kind of. So, but I was thinking though, now I mean, what it's going to be interesting what's going to happen. It's going to be very interesting what's going to happen, but let's see. I mean, it's going to also be interesting to see what DK Metcalf is going to end up saying. I would like to see. I heard somebody say that DK went to Nightcap and he said that the guy used a racial slur. I didn't see that on Nightcap, but let me see. Let me see if I can find that.
NFL rules, an offensive penalty when time expired does not trigger a replay for a previous play. So the Steelers walked away with a crucial late season victory. Oh, at some point in time.
Yeah, talk to me.
What's the coach name? The Lions coach.
Oh, Dan Campbell.
Dan Campbell.
Yes, sir.
At what point in time, Ocho, is he going to take points?
Oh, instead of just going for it?
So now, if he takes, and he going to be confident and not delusional. Your safety is out.
Safety is
St. Brown is going to be right up your hip. Ocho, Detroit leads the Packers to lose their last two games against the Ravens and the Vikings, and the Lions need to win their last two games against the Vikings and the North-leading Chicago Bears in order to keep their playoffs hopes alive. It's not looking good. The Steelers, same thing with the Steelers. The Steelers are in a commanding position. They would need to lose their last two games and have the Baltimore Ravens win their last two games, and I don't see that happening. The Ravens, that's over.
Yeah,
That's over. But back to Detroit. Aaron Rodgers was 27 of 41, 266, one touchdown, no interception. He was sacked twice. Yeah, he's
played with
Joshua Cribbs, Ocho, but what overshadowed the Steelers' victory was DK Metcalf being involved in an altercation with a fan at Ford Field during the second quarter. In an angle of the incident posted on Instagram, DK walked up to a fan, grabbed him by his shirt collar, pulled him closer, and then forcefully shoved him back. Now, I read something where the guy said he called him by his government name.
Yeah, I could tell you.
Go ahead.
Yeah, I'm just I got word. Obviously, I'm not condoning, putting your hands on the fan or punching the fan, but he did call a racial slur. He called him the N-word, and he did call his mom a cunt. And I think with those words being exchanged and the fan saying that, I think that's where the action, occurred, where he threw. I think he threw a punch. I'm not sure if he connected or whatever, but he did call him the N-word, and he called his mama cunt. I guess
the C word. Just say the C word, Ocho.
Oh, my bad. That's bad.
Yeah, it's bad. It's terrible.
Okay, my bad. Yeah, okay, but he did that. So he called him the N-word and the C word as a bad combination. A bad combination,
right.
and it caused DK to react. I'm sure he would have to deal with some type of discipline. You know how the NFL is. No matter what's said, they want you to be able to control yourself in that situation. But I understand. I
agree, because that's not. I think the guy was giving his side of it. He said all he did was call him by his government name, and I'm like, I'm sure a lot of people called him by. He's heard his government name called before.
Right.
I say that's a strong overreaction for someone to call you by government name, and then you act like that. So I didn't put a whole lot of credence into that.
No,
I'm sure somebody that was close by would have heard what he said. It's going to come out. It's going to come out. I'm sure those fans, because at the end of the day, we're all Detroit Lions fans, but more times than not, when you're wrong, fans will normally come, whether it's a visitor or not. If fan gets out of line, fans normally can say, nah, that's not what was said.
Yeah.
You said this, this, and this. You did this, and this.
And matter of fact, another reason why fans are going to come out, especially Detroit Lions fans, they're not going to allow one fan to make the rest of us look bad. They're not going to allow that. Listen, whatever he said, we ain't got nothing to do with that. We don't feel like that. Now, he might have been drunk out of his mind.
Right.
And said some things that he's probably going to come back and apologize for. But if I'm not mistaken, they got sound that can catch everything in that stadium. Everything, especially sitting that close to the sideline. Now, I'm sure it will come out. It probably will. And I guarantee you one thing about it, as a player, you're not going to lie about what somebody said. Because in order for...
I was thinking that too, because I was like, doesn't the stadium, don't they have not only just cameras, but sound around the stadium? So they can really go deep and investigate this and see if that fan really said that. Now, according to the fan, he said that he didn't say it. So, and he also said that, no, not according to the fan. Well, yeah, according to the fan, according to the fan's attorney, he said that the security investigated. He said this is not only just us that mentioned that is saying this, but the security investigated it. They did not see anything that the fans. Well, I don't say anything, but they didn't see racial slurs that was said by the fan, and they allowed him to return back to his seat. So I feel like if something seriously would have came out by now, they would have came out. NFL would have came out by this statement. Now, especially now with the fan suing, it's going to have to be. I mean, correct me if I'm wrong, but it's going to have to be that DK Metcalf and who are all the other media companies that the fan is suing. They're going to have to prove that this fan said that, because the fan is saying he didn't say this, and the fan is even going to the extent of saying my family is receiving death threats, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. And to my knowledge, if I'm not mistaken, I think the fan just wants an apology and wants DK Metcalf to clear the storm, or unless he's going to move forward with suing him. That's what I think is what's going on.
somebody to catch your attention for you to walk from the sideline all the way to the back.
That's what I was saying.
That ain't no government name, Monk. You know goddamn well. But hold on, you said what? Let me holler at you for a little minute, man. And there was another situation like that. Remember when Marcus Peters, somebody said something to Marcus Peters, and he walked back there and say, "Man, hold on, but what you say?"
Yeah.
Yeah, don't let this football game fool you now. Yeah.
You're right. I look, I just hate, look, I get it. Your team cheer, be ecstatic. But y'all gotta chill with these names, man.
Yeah.
I mean, why go to do that, to call somebody a racial slur? Why do you call somebody why would you do that? Why? I mean, to get a reaction, cheer. But you ain't got to call me no racial slur. You ain't got to do none of that. Now I want everybody that there's a lot of hate going on.
Yeah.
That's being disseminated.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna need a couple of the guys that y'all know who you are, that try to pick up what we said a month ago and try to run with it. I want y'all to cover this too. But this right here, man, Ocho, when I'm listening, I'm like, well, damn. For DK to go over there and it's like, well, he said all I said was his government name. I'm like, that man walked right across there just because you said his government name?
No. I mean, you know good and well. And the funny thing about it too, is they pick up the sound. Those, I forgot what those devices are called that they have on the sideline.
They got boom mics.
Yeah, the boom mics, they pick up all that, especially when you're sitting that close to the field. They picking up all that. So if you're sitting here talking about, oh, I just said his government name, definitely the NFL is going to come out and correct you if you're lying.
Right.
Listen, DK is going to have to deal with his punishment regardless.
He's going to deal with it. He's going to get fined or he's going to get suspended. Yeah. Something's going to happen. And he understands that. Yeah. But at that point in time, he's like, bro, you being wild disrespectful.
Yes, sir.
You being wild disrespectful. The NFL is not going to take kindly to this, Ocho, because even though they say, look, what he said was wrong.
Yeah, but you can't touch him, Monk. You can't touch him. You can't touch him. But that's one of those situations. That's one of those situations where fans are so comfortable being able to say what they want to say because they feel protected. They're very comfortable. They sitting in the stands, and I can be able to say what I.
All right, so I'm gonna push back on Ocho saying this. I'm gonna disagree with him on saying this. I don't agree because you mean to tell me that if somebody says anything to you, like there's so many people that's gonna say stuff to you, you gonna let that trigger you, bro? That just tells me that you weak-minded, bro. You look at the bigger picture. Like I just said this earlier. I don't care what fans say, bro. I don't care what they say. You got to look at the bigger picture, and the bigger picture is your lifestyle is bigger than what they saying. They're just fucking words. They're just words. You mean to tell me that if somebody you're on live, right? I love Ochocinco. I love Ochocinco. If I ever see him, I'll shake his hand. Like, I got all the world of respect for you. Grew up watching you. You should be in the Hall of Fame. Whatever. Same for Shannon Sharp. You guys know how much I respect Shannon Sharp. And obviously I come to their channel, their podcast all the time, and I play clips because of what they say, because I honor and I respect their opinions. But on this, I don't agree at all. Like, I respectfully disagree. And for their sake, they're more valuable of human beings than I am. And I wonder if they actually believe what the nonsense that they're saying, because what they're pretty much saying is that people's gonna have to watch what they say. And then you're saying, like, oh, don't let this football game fool you if you want to. So you mean to tell me if I wanted to get Shannon Sharp's attention, and I'm like, Shannon Sharp, this dude is way more wealthy than I am. So I'm not worth it down. I stay in a shoebox. I come across Shannon Sharp, you ain't yeah. Oh, on this, I know how much he loves his grandma. So if I'm like, okay, all I gotta say is something about Shannon Sharp's grandma, get him triggered. And then he puts his hands on. Then I act like I got destroyed by Shannon Sharp. Now I'm gonna go sue him, bro. I really, like, I don't think they believe what they're actually saying because because I said it earlier. The fan went fishing and DK Metcalf bit. What Ocho is saying, he's literally talking about the same nonsense. So you're telling me all I gotta do is go fishing if I see Ocho and you gonna bite? Okay, let me go up and call up a couple of attorneys because now you just put your hands on me, you hurt me. Bro, you more wealthier than like you're wealthy, bro. And you gotta think of the bigger picture. Like I said, the bigger picture is your lifestyle. Is what you bring to the table, bro. Again, you got I said, like I would tell my children, I don't have any kids, but if I was an agent or a coach or whatever, I'm like, y'all better than these people, not better than that. You are better than most people out there. Act like it. Act like it. Because if you really believe that you are better than certain X, Y, and Z, you wouldn't even, it wouldn't matter what that person said at all. They're just words. Words cannot hurt you. They shouldn't. If they do, it shouldn't hurt you, especially where you are in life now. At the level that you're at, it shouldn't hurt you. So I think what Ocho is saying is nonsense. I'm just going to be completely honest. And looks like Shannon Sharp is agreeing with him. I didn't watch this segment. This video was like a month ago. I think what the both are saying is ridiculous. But I'm curious. I'm curious to hear more.
I want to, and sometimes you can say certain things because you don't know how certain people are going to react to certain things that they hear.
Mm.
Everybody don't react the same.
Right.
Everybody don't react the same. So depending on what you do say, I kind of understand it. But on the flip side of things, okay, you can't do that. But I understand.
Look, we could. All I'm gonna say is this: there's a lot of times when words are said to us, they're just words. When words get said to other communities, they're more than words. We're gonna leave that alone. We're gonna keep it. We're gonna
yeah. Hey, take your time. It's Sunday now.
We're gonna move along. But y'all know what I mean. Oh, it's just words. We got to be real careful when they're not just words.
Come on now.
But anyway, look.
Man, look. Nigga is just a word. Bro, it's a word. Nigga. Nigger. It's a word. Like, who cares? I don't care. Somebody can call me a nigga. I honestly don't give a fuck. Like, I literally would not care because in my mind, that person does not matter to me. Like I said earlier in this video, unless you don't get within reaching distance of my space, unless you don't invade my private property, you can't invade my private property by saying nigga. You can't invade my private property by calling me a nigger. I don't give a fuck. Like, I honestly don't care. As long as you don't invade my private property or don't interfere with the people that I love. Like, if I have my wife or my girl or whatever, or my mom, my sister with me, like I said earlier, I got into more fights and altercations by protecting my loved ones than me trying to get into a fight over fucking words. Like, come on, bro. You think billionaires gonna be sitting around getting a fight with words? Like, you think people who are extremely wealthy gonna get in a fight with people over words? They'll be broke. Like, come on, man. Like, I'm black, so I push back on what Shannon Sharp is saying. I feel what he's saying. I mean, I guess some where people get triggered by certain words. I think you need to do more work within yourself because, yeah, at the end of the day, it's just a damn word, man. That's all it is. It doesn't matter to me. I mean, to each of his own, though. To each of his own.
I hate this for DK. Look, DK is an emotional player. DK's gotten a couple of penalties on the field where he's grabbed somebody's face mask or he pushed some people or did some things. So he plays right there to the edge.
Oh yeah,
he does. But in a situation like this, I hope there are fans that heard what this fan said, and I agree with you, Ocho. I hope a boom mic could pick up what the gentleman said.
Yeah,
because we come on now, come on.
Hey, that boom pick up everything. A goddamn racket scamp across the field. The boom is gonna pick that up. Now I'm not condoning DK touching the fan. You can't touch the fans, but based on what I was told from a reliable source who wears number 4, that's what it was. He called me out, he called me the N-word. He called my, the C word. But I ain't going with
Man,
that.
leave people mom alone, man. People don't play about their mom and grandma and their wives and stuff like that. Man, leave that alone.
Absolutely.
Leave that alone. I mean, hey. They just got to stop this foolishness, man. Come on, fans. Y'all better than this.
Yeah.
And I get it. Hey, I get you're excited for your team and you want to get your team fired up.
Yeah.
Hey. But we gotta ease up with the racial stuff. We gotta leave people moms and grandmas and kids and wives and stuff. We gotta leave that stuff out. People will hurt you about that.
Mm-hmm.
You have to understand that, because at the end of the day, that's still a human. That's at the end of the day, a man is a man, a woman is a woman.
Yes.
It doesn't matter how much money they make. They still have feelings. They still cry. They still get excited. They still feel sadness. They still, if you cut them, they'll bleed.
Yes.
They are human. Sometimes people think just because you make an enormous sum of money, or you're rich, or you're famous, or you're influential, you're supposed to absolve yourself. Now, I have no feelings.
Right. Mm-hmm.
Now I have no emotions.
Right.
I'm not even, as a matter of fact, now money has made me, I'm not even human anymore.
Mm-hmm.
All the things that I would normally feel as a human,
it's supposed to go out the window.
I no longer feel that.
Yeah. I mean, that's how most people view those that are well off or rich or that are wealthy, that they're not supposed to have any issues. You're supposed to be numb to any and everything. But obviously, but honestly, it's actually the opposite way. It's the opposite way for many of them. And it's unfortunate. That's just the way society is. And it's been that way for a very, very, very long time. And I mean, listen, this is an unfortunate incident. Again, I don't condone what DK did. I do understand it after finding out exactly what was said.
Yeah.
Everybody,
like I said, the NFL is going to do their due diligence.
Yeah, they're going to do what they got to do.
Because they don't want, they're going to react, but they don't want to overreact.
Right. Right.
So they're going to do their homework. They're going to take their time. They're going to get anybody. Was anybody that was in that area in section blah, 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 whatever the case may be. Did anybody hear the interaction between this gentleman and DK Metcalf?
Yeah.
Because he said what he said. DK said what he said. Now there's in the middle somewhere is the truth.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. And the NFL, you know, they're in a tough spot. But what they do have to do, is, you know, one thing by the NFL, they don't play by that shield. They don't play by that shield, and they're gonna do everything to protect that shield. So the players is going to have to be disciplined no matter what. You know, we can't allow stuff like this to happen. And we have to set a precedent that if you do something like this, even though whatever it is might have been said, we still have to protect that shield. Because long after you're gone, we still have a business to run.
Because the NBA is getting real. The NBA object. If you talk about, man, you killing my parlay, they taking people out. Man, you ruined my VIP. They taking people out. Yeah. The NBA is getting there. Like, look here, we're not having anything, any of that. We're removing you.
Yeah,
and it's really hard because, like I said, it's so loud in the dome or. You know, even if you're outside, when you got 70,000, 80,000 fans, it's really hard to hear.
Yeah.
So for DK to actually hear that, something prompted him to turn around, leave his designated area, and go back there and ask, "What did you say?" Something caused him to do that. Now, I don't know. He said, the gentleman said,
whatever it was, it doesn't matter. Again, keyword, something was said. Was something said or was something done? Something done, that's a different story. Something said, come on, bro. You got the security there. You really could tell people who gets paid to handle your light work to do that for you. It's like, yo, I need you to handle my light work. Security or police, whatever. I need you to handle my light work. I'm DK Metcalf. I don't do that. I don't get my hands dirty. I'm DK Metcalf. I'm better than that. I'm better than you. Do my light work. That's why sometimes we really got to be arrogant. We got to be narcissistic sometimes. Like, yeah, like yes, you have to be. Because if you focus on you, that stuff like that just wouldn't even matter, bro. I'm like, man, I got to worry about becoming a better wide receiver. I got to worry about focus on running better routes, catching the ball better. How can we get to the Super Bowl? If you was really obsessed with that, if you was really obsessed with the future of how you can become a better wide receiver, become a Hall of Famer, bro, how can what the fan says match to that? How can it measure to that? It can't. It can't. It doesn't. But DK Metcalf saying I'm wrong by him doing that. I guarantee you, I feel like DK Metcalf regrets him doing it. I guarantee you, I feel like he regrets the fact that he did that. Even the fact that I'm looking at his body language when he went to the fan, he grabbed the fan by his hair. And when he went like that, you saw that he opened his palm a little bit. He went like that because you can see in his mind that he was just like, maybe I should not have done that. Just like that. You know what I'm saying? He was being instinctive. You be instinctive on the football field, but not when you're dealing with regular people. Because you're better than them. Why you going to be instinctive with regular people? You a lion. They sheep. They ain't nothing to you. I don't know, man.
I read somewhere where the gentleman said all I did was call him by his government name.
I
guess
care.
he didn't like me calling him by his government name. That's what Ocho, I'm just saying what he said. I wasn't there.
I got you.
And so we're going to find out more as the days come. And hopefully, guys, we find out something tomorrow.
Video was about a month ago. I think about a month ago. Yeah. Yeah, about a month ago. So they're saying we're going to find out more. I think the most recent news that we hear now is the fans about to sue. So evidently they weren't more to it.
So we can give you that information. But as of right now, it's a he said.
Yes, sir.
And they're gonna have to get to the bottom of this. So we'll find out. But the NFL, there's gonna be a fine. There's gonna be a fine at worst case. At minimum, there'll be a fine.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, absolutely.
Worst case scenario, you put your hands on somebody, they might suspend them. I hope that's not the case, but a fine is coming. And it's probably going to be a substantial one.
Mm.
Probably $50,000 or $100,000, Ocho.
I say 50. Say 50.
DK had 4 catches, 42 yards, 9 targets. Played well. I mean, look, the Steelers played well. Went into a hostile environment, handled the crowd noise exceptionally well. Rodgers was dealing the ball. Gainwell played great. Even Adam Thielen came up with some big catches.
Yeah.
The big guy, D-Dub,
D. Washington. Yeah.
Played extremely well.
That's a
look,
big.
I thought. Look, this is the Steelers. This is one of their better games.
Mm-hmm.
This was absolutely one of their better games, and Steelers deserve to win. It looks like they're going to win the AFC North. Now the question is, there's a great chance, no matter what happens, this fan is going to get banned. So now you ask yourself. Now I hope those are his seats, because a lot of times, Ocho, sometimes. If I got season tickets and I let somebody get those season tickets and they misbehave, I'm responsible for their behavior.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Now I lose out. So that's why you have to be careful who you give your seats to, and who you give, who do you give tickets to?
Yeah.
Because they know, well, these tickets belong. These belong to Ocho. This was the Ocho guest.
Yeah.
You're responsible for a fan in those seats in Cincinnati, as I was in Denver or in Baltimore.
Right.
So. Well, hopefully everything gets itself resolved. Sorry that this incident had to happen. It's a very unfortunate situation for DK, for everyone involved. The NFL, Detroit, the Steelers, everybody involved. It's a very unfortunate situation. So hopefully in the coming days, we'll have some sort of resolution.
Well, I mean, I'm gonna read this article. I think this article has some good information to it, in my opinion. Let's see. I'm gonna read it. Hold on, it just went off. article off MSN.com. So it says Lions fan Ryan Kennedy sues Steelers, DK Metcalf, Chad Johnson, and others. Detroit Lions fan Ryan Kennedy was involved in a physical incident with Pittsburgh Steelers wide receiver DK Metcalf during the week 16 of the 2025 regular season and is suing multiple parties tied to the incident that occurred last December. According to CBS Sports, Kennedy filed a $100 million lawsuit against the Steelers organization, wide receiver DK, Chad, Shannon Sharp's company, Shay Media, Time Sports LLC, and Ford Field for defamation and negligence. Per reporter, Kennedy claims he was falsely branded a racist in national media. After the altercation with Metcalf on December 21st, his legal team states there is no video or audio evidence to support claims that racial slurs were involved. And so, according to Chad, that they do have some, they can go back and record the sound and then look at the sound. Not record, but look at this recording sounds of in the stadiums. So, if they do and they haven't found any, he has a case. Additionally, Kennedy is suing Metcalf for assault and battery, as well as the Steelers for their alleged liability in the incident because DK put his hands on him. That's what I'm talking about. I just, again, I'm gonna keep saying this. We went fishing, DK bit. But anyways, Lions fan Ryan Kennedy. Oh yeah, this is just reading. We at Steelers Wire remain committed to provide the updates on this ongoing legal situation involving Metcalf and others. For up-to-date Steelers coverage, including any offseason moves, follows. Okay, sorry, so that's it. Okay, I'm more than likely gonna probably follow them so I can keep up to date with those news. But that's that, man. I mean, we'll see. We'll see what happens. But that's all I got, man. I'm gonna be back here tomorrow night, and we'll talk about some other things. I had some other stuff on the menu, but we're in about an hour. Someone to go ahead and jump off. I got some other things I got to do, but all that matters is just that I'm being here with you guys every night, being committed. So, you all let me know what your thoughts on this, your opinions. If you have any other information that I can look into, how do you feel about what I said? You know, I mean, that's my perspective. My opinion. I started the video out talking about economical principles, your private property, and unless that's your greatest asset is your body, is you. Unless somebody invades that, engaging in any other type of physical activity with somebody on the street is a waste of your time and ridiculous. At the end of the day, it all based on your ego. It really does. If you deep down in insecurities, if you deep down inside are truly secure with yourself, unbothered, unfazed, and somebody words is not going to affect you, and it shouldn't. If you are completely secure within yourself, words will affect you. If you are insecure within yourself, if you have some deep insecurities that you have not tended to. So unless somebody's think about it, unless somebody's invading your private property, unless somebody gets within reaching distance, because when they get within reaching distance now, it's kind of a threat. You know what I'm saying? It's more of like a, so something that you got to be aware of. And you want to swing first before somebody else swings on you. Yeah, you can warn them. You're like, yo, I'm telling you, keep your distance. Keep your distance means do not get within striking distance. That's what keeping your distance means. And I have a long reach. So keep your distance, bro. Keep your distance. If you get it within striking distance, that's it. So, but words, I'm bothered, bro. I'm bothered. But that's all I got. Y'all chime in. Thanks for watching. If you want more, you know where to find me. Like, comment, share, subscribe. We'll be back soon, all day.